Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa Uqbat ibn Amir رجل أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أعطاه غنما يقسمها على صاحبه ضحايا فبقي عتود فذكره لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ضحي بي أنت. وفي رواية قلت يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أصابني جذع قال ضحي به متفق عليه. Then from Uqba ibn Amir Nabi gave them some a flock of sheep which they can divide it upon which he can divide it upon his companions to slaughter as for Eid al-Adha. So one small goat remained. So he mentioned that to Nabi Karim Sallallahu. So he said, you slaughter it yourself. And in one riwayat I said, oh Nabi Karim Sallallahu, a 6 month, a jaza', a 6 month and more sheep, a lamb, right, came into my share. So he said, slaughter it. So atud is a small, so atud, one meaning for atud is a goat of 1 year, right? So if it's a goat of 1 year, then this hadith here is clear that you need to have a goat which is at least 1 year old in order for it to be permissible to be slaughtered. And if atud means a smaller than 1 year, like a goat which is smaller than 1 year, then in that case we will say that this was a ruling special for Uqba ibn Amir and it doesn't apply to others because the goats have to be at least 1 year. Right. But Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu qala kana Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam yazbah wa yanharu bil musalla, rawahu al-Bukhari. Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said Nabi sallallahu you should slaughter and you should sacrifice by the musalla, by the Eidgah. When Jabir radiallahu anhu Nabi sallallahu qala al-baqaratu min sab'atin wal jazuru an sab'atin, rawahu Muslim wa Abu Dawud wal lafzu lahu. The Imam Jabir radiallahu anhu said Nabi sallallahu said that a cow is on behalf of 7 people and a camel on behalf of 7 people. Narrated by Muslim and Abu Dawud, and the words of Abu Dawud. Right. When Salmah radiallahu anha قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخل العشر وأراد بعضكم أن يضحي ولا يمس من شعره وبشره شيئا وفي رواية فلا يأخذن شعرا ولا يقلمن ظفرا وفي رواية من رآه هلال ذي الحجة وأراد أن يضحي فلا يأخذه min sha'rihi wala min azfarihi, rawahu Muslim. Now, if Salma radiallahu said that Nabi Karim says when the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah enters and some of you intend to slaughter, sacrifice an animal, then he should not touch from his hair and nor from his skin anything. And in one riwayat he shouldn't cut his hair and nor should he clip his nails. And in one riwayat whoever sees the crescent for Dhul Hijjah and he intends to slaughter, then he shouldn't cut from his hair nor from his nails. Right. Why are we told not to? Those who intend to sacrifice, why are they told not to cut their hairs and the nails when the first day of Dhul Hijjah enters until after they slaughter, so that they can resemble those who are in ihram for Hajj. Right. There's the one hikmah there. However, the prohibition according to Ahnaf is tanzihi. In other words, not cutting is mustahab, right? And to do against it, if you're going to cut your hair and your nails and you sacrifice an animal in these 10 days, then what you did, you did something which is khilafe awla, right? It is not the best, but it's not makruh. It's makruh tanzihi. And Imam Shafi rahmahullah, he says makruh, right? He says it's makruh now to cut the hairs if you're slaughtering. When Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma قال رسول الله ما من أيام العمل الصالح فيهن أحب إلى الله من هذه الأيام العشر. قالوا يا رسول الله ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله؟ قال ولا جهاد في سبيل الله إلا رجل خرج بنفسه وماله فلم يرجع من ذلك بشيء. Rawah al-Bukhari. And Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he said, Nabi Akram says, there are no days where good deeds in them are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than these 10 days. Then they said, oh Nabi Akram, and no jihad in the path of Allah. He said, no, not even jihad in the path of Allah, except the man who comes out with his life and his wealth and he does not return with any of them. In other words, he gave his life and his wealth in the path of Allah. Then that action of his is even better than Amal Salih. on these 10 days. But otherwise, Amal Salih on these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, they are very, very great in reward. And obviously, this will now refer to jihad in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's when jihad is not farz ain. Because if jihad is farz ain, then jihad at that time will be better than Amal Salih on the 10 days. Right. So it could mean also that these 10 days, the Amal Salih is better than in these 10 days, besides the days of Ramadan, because Amal Salih is also great in the days of Ramadan. So we look at Ramadan, then we see the greatness of it is because of the Faraz, Rosas, fasting, and then we have Laylatul Qadr. And the virtue of these 10 days, they got it from the day of Arafah and the Amal of Hajj. أفعال of Hajj, you understand? Right. وعن جابر رضي الله قال ذبح النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يوم الذبح كبشين أقرنين أملحين موجوئين فلما وجههما قال إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا والأرض على ملة إبراهيم حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا من المسلمين اللهم منك ولك عن محمد وأمته بسم الله والله أكبر ثم ذبح رواه أحمد وأبو داود بن ماجه والدارمي في رواية لأحمد وأبي داود والترمذي ذبح بيده وقال بسم الله والله أكبر اللهم هذا عني وعن من لم يضحي من أمتي. It was Jabir radiallahu anhu said the Nabi Akram slaughtered on the day of slaughtering 2 rams with horns and was black and white in color and was castrated. So when he faced him towards Qibla, he said, indeed, I am facing my face to the one who created the heavens and the earth upon the way of Ibrahim, which is pure. And I am not from the mushrikeen. Indeed, my salah and my rituals and my living and my dying is for Allah Rabbul Alameen. There is no partner for him. And with that I have been ordered and I am from the Muslimin. O Allah, from you and to you, from on behalf of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his ummah. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Then he slaughtered. Right. And in another riwayat, ذبح بيده. He made zabah with his hand and he said, Bismillah, Allah, Wallahu Akbar. And he said, this is on behalf of me and on behalf of those who did not slaughter from my ummat. Right. So the castrated animal is also good to do them, is because when you castrate them, then their meat, they become fatter, more fatter, and their meat also tastes nicer. Right. وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Right, I am not from the mushrikeen. The ulama have different opinions that Nabi Karim Sallallahu before Nubuwwat, which according to which Shariat is to make ibadat. Right. So some say before Nubuwwat is to follow the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam, some say the way of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, and some say the way of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. Some is to make ibadat in that way. What they say the Sahih Qawl is that Nabi Akram never used to follow any way, but he should rather do the ibadat according to how he understood it, right? He used to do his own ibadat, right? When Hanashim rahmatullah qala ra'aytu aliyan yudhhiya bikabashayn faqultu lahu ma hadha faqala inna rasul sallam awsani an udhhiya anhu fa ana udhhi anhu rawahu Abu Dawud wa rawat Tirmizi nahwahu. Narrated from Hanash rahmatullah, he said, I saw Ali radiallahu anhu sacrificing 2 rams. I said to him, what is this? I said, Nabi Akram commanded me that I should slaughter on behalf of him, so I'm slaughtering on behalf of him. So there's 2 possibilities here. One is that he should slaughter 2 rams for Nabi Karim and 1 for himself, so there'll be 3. Or the other possibilities is 1 was for him and 1 was for Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This hadith also shows us that to sacrifice an animal, right, on behalf of the mayyat is permissible. Can slaughter on behalf of a person who had passed away, right? وعن علي رضي الله قال أمرنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نستشرف العين والأذن وألا نضحي بمقابلة ولا مدابرة ولا شرقاء ولا خرقاء. رواه الترمذي وأبو داود والنسائي. what's after it? والنسائي. Okay. والدارمي وابن ماجه وانتهت روايته إلى قوله والأذن. Right. Imam Ali Rajan said Nabi Akram commanded us that we must check the eyes and the ears, right, of the animal. Check it for any faults, right? And we should not slaughter that animal which its ears, right, is uh, is cut off from the front. That's the first one, right? Muqabalan. Dabaratin, cut off from the back. Wala sharqa'a, right? And then that animal which ear is split lengthwise, and that animal which ears is split breadthwise. You got it now? Right. Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi says such type of animal is not permissible. That even if a little bit of its ear is cut, whereas Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi says that if here they say there is two fatwas there. One is half, less than half cut, then it's okay. And the other fatwa is less than 1/3. Less than 1/3, right? Imam Tahawi Rahmanahi says that Imam Shafi Rahmanahi makes amal on this hadith here, right? Because now this hadith is showing any cut. You understand? Showing cutting from this side, that side, that side, don't use it. Imam Abu Hanifa Rahmanahi, he makes amal on this hadith and in his explanation for this hadith via another hadith. Because Abu Qatada radiallahu anhu hadith, which says that I heard as Ali radiallahu anhu saying that Nabi Karim sallallahu prohibited from that one which its horns and its ears were cut. So I asked as Ibn Moosagie rahmatullah alayhi that what is adabai uzun, right? So he said that which half or more than half is cut, right? In conclusion now, Ahnaf's masla is this here. 1/3 or more than 1/3 is cut, right? The ear, then it's not permissible. You got it? 1/3 or more than 1/3 of the ear. Likewise, that animal which was born without ears, not permissible. Likewise, that animal which its tail or its nose 1/3 or more is cut off, right? Likewise, that animal which is deaf or blind, right? Or 1/3 or more of its sight is gone, then also is not permissible. Likewise, that animal which its others is gone dry, not permissible. Likewise, that animal which its marrow is gone, right? Because it's so thin and weak. And also that animal which is limb, so limb that it cannot walk to the Qurbani place. Likewise, that animal which is so sick cannot eat grass also. Likewise, that animal that's got scabies. Likewise, that animal without teeth, it can't eat grass. And know that animal that eats najasat. So that animal which has got like it's got splits in its ear, but it's not cut off. That animal is permissible. Right. وعن علي رضي الله قال نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نضحي بأعذب القرن والأذن رواه ابن ماجه. Imam Ali radiallahu anhu is he says that Nabi Akram forbade that we slaughter what the animal which its horn and its ears are broken or cut off. So Ahnaf says that animal which its horns were it was born without horns, or it was born with broken horns, then it's permissible. So we say this hadith refers to Nahiya Tanzihi. However, that animal which its horns has been cut off from the roots, then we say that that animal is not permissible. Right. If we're saying not permissible, yeah. But now if it's just broken slightly, the horn, then you can still use it. You understand? But if it's cut off from the root, if it's broken off from the roots, then you can't use it. وعن البراء بن عازب رضي الله عنه سئل ماذا يتقى من الضحايا فأشار بيدي فقال أربعا: الأرجاء البين ضلعها، والأوراء البين عورها، والمريضة البين مرضها، والعجفاء والتي لا تنقي. رواه مالك وأحمد والترمذي وأبو داود والنسائي وابن ماجه والدارمي. Whenever Bara ibn Azib said Nabi Akram was asked what must be abstained from the animals of sacrifice. So Nabi Akram indicated what he said, and he said four. The one is so lame that its lameness is clear, and the one who's one-eyed, and its being one-eyed is clear, and the one who's sick, its sickness is clear, and the one is so weak, right, that it doesn't have any pulp or in its bones. Right, that's that hadith. Okay, leave it till there. Pulp in its bone will be more like marrow. You understand? Because it's so weak, so bones are all dry. Huh? It could be, look, not only old people, maybe you get a young sick, very sick. You understand?